Xbox is in the news a lot lately. I think it's in the news for all the right reasons as well. Unlike, the past few years with Xbox One or the end of the Xbox One generation, it's easy to see why people are starting to kind of fall in love with Xbox all over again, and it makes a lot of sense. And I know there's going to be people that don't agree with me, and I think that's absolutely fine. And I also think that one of the things that we're going to see is Xbox continuing this trend where, people really talk about it as like a friendly console, as a friendly ecosystem, and as something that is a good idea to kind of, just have fans on your side and just have the media on your side as well. I think that it really does kind of do things in a certain way that can exploit, well, I don't want to say exploit, but can really showcase the type of company you are. Like, everybody wants to come across as a family friendly company and a family-friendly business, and that's what we're starting to see with Microsoft. But this bit of news even tops that, because it's something that I've kind of come to realize, and I really kind of came to realize this a while ago, and I want to get into it because I feel like it's going to be a good video. So why don't we go ahead and get started? It's going to be a video you don't want to miss. Trust me when I say that. Hey there everyone, I'm the Crapgamer, and of course this is Crapgamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You'll probably notice some cool changes around here. Hopefully that doesn't stop you from giving us a like at the very least, and possibly even consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your free time with me today. It really does mean a lot. Happy holidays, all that kind of good stuff. Hopefully you guys are doing absolutely great. Realistically, man, we are so close to Christmas. I'm hoping that many of you got an Xbox or a PlayStation or a Switch or whatever it is that you want. I just feel like it's super important to be able to do that. Now, this is very interesting, and it's an opinion piece, right? So we know that there's a lot of cool stuff going on with with everything that's happening in the world right now. We know that there's going to be shortages for probably years to come. But with that being said as well, we also have a situation where a lot of people were kind of making fun of the Xbox Series S, myself included. And now I saw this article that says Matrix Awakens proves that the Xbox Series S is a next-gen console once and for all. If you haven't tried the Matrix Awakens Unreal Engine 5 experience yet, which is free to download on the Series X, S, and PS5, it's something you really need to see for yourself. And as you guys know, I played it and compared it and stuff like that. It's a breathtaking showcase of what Microsoft and Sony's current-gen consoles can achieve, and a fascinating glimpse into what the future holds for video games in general. The Matrix Awakens demo rivals the cinematic presentation values that have previously been reserved for big-budget Hollywood films. We see incredible virtual recreations of Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss as Neo and Trinity, the likes of which are often difficult to distinguish between their real-life counterparts. The game's interactive shooting sequence, where you blow the tires off incoming vehicles and shoot down a helicopter, is also astonishing to behold. We're treated to a suite of mesmerizing particle effects, groundbreaking physics, and some of the best explosions you'll ever see in a video game to date. Of course, the Matrix Awakens demo is a far cry from the type of cross-gen experiences that have made up the vast majority of releases on both Sony and Microsoft systems so far. The type of visual fidelity and technology present simply impossible on last-gen hardware, which, with the exception of a few PS5 exclusives like Ratchet & Clank, Rift Apart, Demon's Souls, and Returnal, hasn't really even been the case for most next-gen games. Even though it's a tech demo first and foremost, then with limited player agency and in the gameplay section, it's rare to get to an interactive proof of concept like this running natively on consoles. The fact that it's running mostly in real time on the Series S, no less, a console that costs $299, is even more phenomenal feat, especially as Microsoft's felt white box has had its doubters ever since its release. The Series S has struggled to shake off its rather unfair reputation of being underpowered. Some believe it's unable to offer a true generational leap over the likes of the Xbox One X due to the fact that it mainly targets 1440p and 1080p resolutions. But pixel counts aside, it's already shown after a year on sale that it's more than a competent machine. It's home to more 120 frames per second games than PS5 for starters, capable of next-gen exclusives like ray tracing, and is able to run graphically intensive Gen 9 games that simply aren't possible on older hardware, like Microsoft Flight Simulator and the Medium. Admittedly, there have been some instances of ray tracing have been disabled in the Series S, or developers have opted for a lower resolution or frame rate compared to the Series X and PS5 version. Yes, there are downgrades present in the Series S version of Matrix Awakens. The resolution is lower with more visual effects artifacts present, slightly more shimmering and less impressive draw distances, but it's still fundamentally able to deliver the same core experience on a box that costs significantly less than the more powerful Series X and PS5. The Matrix Awakens demo is yet another example of good things that do come in small packages, and it serves as irrefutable proof, if more were needed, that the Series S is clearly a next-gen console. Sadly, it won't stop doubters from dismissing Microsoft's affordable Xbox as being nothing more than a next-gen light experience. Many believe that the Xbox Series S will also hold the Xbox Series X back in some way, and as generational progresses, it may not be capable of running the latest games. I don't think anyone could have ever thought we'd get something like the quality of the Matrix Awakens demos, at least not so soon. Judging from that, I think it'll cope just fine. Now listen, I just pretty much covered the whole article. I think that there's a lot of good points to this. I think that they're right about a lot of different aspects. I also think that, some people are being unfair about it. I think it's really a good console, and I've been impressed with as a secondary Xbox just in the other room to play some games, and they are right about a lot of the things like the FPS and stuff like that is very impressive. And you also have to keep in mind, not every game is going to be not every game is going to be 4K. Not every person has a 4K TV to begin with, right? So when we think about this and we think about it logically, isn't it perfect that the majority of people don't have a 4K TV, and so they have a console that's next gen that can play all the games, and maybe people don't really care about the resolution. I mean, I'm sure there's some, but obviously not everybody cares about that stuff. And to see it kind of come out the way that it has, I have to say that it's been absolutely incredible to see the way that that's happened. The way that that Microsoft has been able to go out there and just have everything ready to go, and ready to kind of shine. And the Xbox Series S might not be for everybody, but it is definitely for a large portion of people, and I'm very thankful for that. And I think that that's something that everybody should be super excited about. The future is bright, and everybody's going to be talking about this one way or the other. And for me personally, I think that it's just a smart move by Microsoft to have something out there like this, because it makes a ton of sense. And everybody is going to be excited about the future of this kind of stuff, and everybody's going to be talking about, hey, is it going to be able to do this, is it going to be able to do that? And you know what, screw that. It is going to be able to do whatever people want it to do. And if you're not into it, or you want something to kind of happen one way or the other, then I think that it's not really going to matter. So I hope that people kind of understand where I'm coming from for this. It's not for everybody, but it's definitely for some people, and I think that that's like probably the smart section of what I'm talking about. And I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody has to say in the future, and I'm looking forward to seeing just how everybody's going to kind of react to this. I'm sure that a lot of people are going to dislike what I have to say, but you know what? I'm saying it anyway. With that being said, I'll link this. You guys can check it out. Thanks for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap gamer out.